This is Max Shears, Pro Boxing Fans. I'm Black with joined as always by Joe Gallagher. I'll start us off. Obviously, Zelfa Barrett, big win on the weekend. It's a good time for the gym, isn't it, right now?
Yeah, the gym's doing really well at the moment. Like I said, Fraser Clark was just unfortunate with Hooney. Zelfa had a good win at the weekend. Ewan Malone went 7-0. All the prospects have been busy this year. They've all had 3 or 4 fights, and we've got another 5 months of the year to go. And obviously here we are, back in Jeddah 8 years later, after Callum Smith winning the Muhammad Ali Trophy, with another exciting prospect from Liverpool with Mikie Tallon on a big show. Huge thanks to Turk Al-Sheikh, the team at Seller, Ring Magazine, Riyadh Season for putting him on this event again in a tough fight. It's a step up for Mikey. Kid's 17-3, 11 knockouts, and I'll ask a few questions of Mikey on his rise to the top.
Definitely. We're going to talk about Mikey. You just told me off camera about that photo with Callum Smith and obviously Mikey 8 years later, and you said the words that you told me was big shoes to fill, but I imagine you got full faith in him to do that, I imagine, down the line.
Yeah, he has. Like anything, anyone young, Mikey 20, just turned 21, everyone has a youth about them. They have an ambition and they think they're ready to go, when sometimes you just go, no, we're not ready yet. And listen, fighting on these big shows gives him what big fight week is all about, being in and around it. Obviously he was on the Canelo fight week, obviously he was on Tyson Fury's, Ben Eubank, and now this, and that'll stand him in huge good stead down the road. But yeah, huge shoes to fill. Obviously Cam Smith became world champion here, and it's great to come back here now with another emerging talent from Liverpool in Mikie Tallon, the Omen, who is raising a lot of eyebrows in world boxing.
Definitely. Obviously, this is his 4th Riyadh Season card. I mean, I was literally speaking to him, even the hotel, you see how grand it is in the amphitheatre and things like that. I imagine in the forefront of your mind is kind of keeping him grounded and saying, I think he said to you, I think you told him, don't get too used to it and don't expect it in a way. But how important is that for a young fighter to stay grounded when you're on shows like this?
Yeah, exactly. Well, Mikey, in between these shows, he's always back. He fights at the Green Bank, or he's at Bowlers, or he's at the Forum. He fought in Wythenshawe the other week, and you're in the change rooms, they're not the best and all that. But like I said to him, when you're here, you've got to make the most of it here. Do you know what I mean? At the big show and everything else. So enjoy it while you can. And it just also keeps the feet on the floor as well, to make sure I'm here in this. But he doesn't have that gene in him anyway. He's quite a level street kid.
As the man in the corner, what do you want to see on Saturday? And like you said, it is a step up. It's an 8-rounder. What do you want to see? Is it him kind of show his boxing? Is it to get another early stoppage that we've seen? Like, what would be best for you? Best comes scenario.
I think to get rounds in. The main thing is to get rounds in. He just did 6 rounds in Wythenshawe a couple of weeks ago. To get rounds in and just show people what we're going to talk about, where the water's beginning to bubble in the pan. It's not boiling yet, people aren't all running all over him, but we're beginning to bubble, and just keep that momentum going, put performance in, and people to walk away and go, Joe, what? He's beginning to grow me in. He's not bad in. I think he can do something, and people start picking him out as ones to watch and look out for in the future.
I know boxing's not one of them sports where you really want like a long roadmap of planning ahead, because anything can change. But we know Turkey's a big fan of him. Obviously, you've got all these ambitions for him. Like I said, it's early in the year. By the end of 2026, where do you want to see Mikie Tallon? Is it in 10 rounds? What do you want to see from him?
Well, that all depends on Mikey and how he develops in the gymnasium. We've got to make sure that when we go through the door, we're fully equipped to fight all and everyone. And the sense of maturity, his strength, and his skill set. So we'll take it from there. I'm not really in a rush for him at the moment. It's all about getting rounds, building his record up, building his confidence up, and learning. And I think it'd be more so middle 2027 when we decide to do something with him.
Something that I remember, I think it was Jamie Moore told me this when he'd first got with Pat Brown and he joined the gym, and he told me that his job with someone like Pat, and obviously Mikey, who's got the amateur background, is more, rather than teaching them how to box and stuff, he's like polishing a Ferrari in a way, you know, getting the fitness should be there, the skills there, just polish the last details in camp. With someone with the background like Mikey, is it similar to you in terms of them little tweaks before fights, or like is the big things to do? Do you know what I mean?
No, there is, but you've got to understand that in the amateurs it's a total different style, and the punch to score points. When you're professional, you punch to hurt, and you give an opportunity to someone to take you out, they'll take you out. It's kill or be killed to a different sense. So you've got to develop that edge to you. That's why I called Mikey the Omen. When he first came, he was inspiring Paul Butler, whoever, he didn't care, he was fearless. So you've got to nurture that and not let him get too carried away with that and winning fights, and educate him and make him a complete all-round fighter to be able to handle any style and have that temperament and not box with your emotions. So there's a lot of key elements like that to it, and then it's like, right, okay, then you're off the leash. I think Callum Smith went off the leash for the British with Rocky, I think 78 fight. John Murray, English title was 22nd fight, so same with Mikey being around that area before we start letting him off the leash.
Definitely. I just want to ask about the main event, Anthony Joshua, Christian Prenga. I mean, a lot of people are expecting Joshua to get the job done. How much pressure do you think is on Anthony Joshua this weekend to get the job done? And Tyson Fury in a very similar situation.
I don't think there's no pressure. If you look at Anthony Joshua, he looks in like quite relaxed state. He's had a good training camp. He's away out of London. He's in Spain. He's with a new camp Usyk around him. I think he looks really well, Anthony Joshua. He seems mentally well, and he just wants to go in there and put a performance, as does Tyson. When you watch Tyson Fury, he's training, he's slim, he's in shape. I've enjoyed watching it. His young son Prince bounce around there in the ring as well. He's coming on as well. So, no, I think we've got to see two good performances from both of them this weekend, Tyson and AJ, and hopefully that's it all done, and we try and book our flights to wherever the fight's got to be, or book our hotels in London. So hopefully after this weekend that's it. But I do feel it should be an early night for Anthony Joshua, and Tyson Fury will do a few rounds and decide to take him out when he wants to take him out, or just use it for just getting the rounds in. But I do feel both boys are really good, in a really good place in the careers at the moment.
Definitely. I just want to ask, I mean, stylistically, it's hard to see many comparisons between Christian Prenga and Tyson Fury, rather than preparing necessarily for Fury's side. I think this is more of like a confidence, but like I said, a lot of people think he's going to get it done early on the night. Is this more for AJ to get in there and show that kind of that destructive self that we've obviously seen throughout the years?
We've seen it, like we've seen when we've seen him fought Francis Ngannou. Wouldn't be surprised if something like that happened. But obviously, if you look at Francis Ngannou with Tyson, and you look at Rico recently as well, it's a huge opportunity for them. So they're stubborn and determined, and they don't want to go down early. There's pride. And from the sporting background that they've come from, they don't want to be blown out in a round or two. But I just think Anthony Joshua, he just seems to have a little bit of swagger about him this week, very much in the same way when he first turned pro. Didn't think much about anything, just went in and let his hands go, and I think that's all he needs to do Saturday night.
Tyson Fury just said to my colleague about 10 minutes ago that Marius Wack would knock out Christian Prenga. I mean, when you look at it, who do you think has the tougher test this weekend?
I don't think the test for either of them. No, so that's it. You're talking about two-time heavyweight champions of the world, and yeah. Tyson's good on the mic, and that's what I'm saying. Just the press conference along with AJ and Tyson. It'd be great if Tyson pulled out the Batman out routine again and all that type of stuff. Do you understand? Yeah. It's just great TV, and like I've said to all the time, you've got to enjoy both fellas while they're still about, while we can.
Where should that fight take place? I think I've heard you talking about a flight to Vegas maybe, but where would you want that fight to take place?
I would have liked to have happened this week, right now, after the World Cup at Wembley, summertime. It should have happened now, like this weekend, where they're fighting. It would have been great, but then to have it in November, cold, hotels charging you fortunes, close to Christmas, ticket sales, 2 o'clock in the morning. Yeah, I think a lot of people would rather, Joe, what, instead of spending all that money, I'd rather just buy a cheap hotel in Vegas and fly over and watch the two of them over there. So you never know. For that time of year, I can see why it would work in America.
When I speak to people about this event, one fight that people constantly talk about is Keegan Ajaka versus Josh Kelly, and they keep saying that could be a bit of a firefight, that could be fight of the night. Do you see that, or do you think Josh Kelly could just outbox him on the night?
No, I think that's a very good fight. I think Josh Kelly now, he's got the confidence now to become world champion. The kid just come off a very close win. Was that against Ishmael Davis? Yeah. And he's got a huge opportunity to change his life here on the big stage in front of His Excellency on pay-per-view. So yeah, he'll be fully motivated. Josh Kelly, he's got to stick to the script, listen to Adam Booth. But I do feel it's a really tight fight. It's a pick and fight.
I agree. I think it's a pick and fight, but I keep on hearing Eddie talking about Josh Kelly versus maybe Jaron Boots Ennis. I mean, just stylistically, how do you see that fight? Do you think Boots could have too much for him? Or?
Yeah. Boots Ennis, just there's levels to this sport, and that's no disrespect to Adam and Josh Kelly, but Boots Ennis is, I've not really studied him. I know Adam would, and he most would say something different, but Boots Ennis is a very talented fighter.
Definitely. Well, Joe, I'll let you go. Thank you very much for your time. Thank you.